attire of this gorgeous art style. Disco Elysium. I'm noticing for the first time on this main page that sort of helicopter-esque cargo transport vehicle. I've seen no such thing in the game so far, and I'm now excited to. Trauma team en route. Alright, where were we? I believe we were desperately trying to wrestle with our psyche in order to overcome our disgust at the smell of decay. Or perhaps it's just the sight of children. Not sure which. But, oh, we're wrestling. So we got some sort of like thought in our cabinet last time that perhaps may help. The volumetric compressor. That's the one. Give my microphone just a moment to catch up. Right now I'm a little low as it relates to the swooshy sound effects of the menu. But oh well. So, it seems as though this will take about 30 minutes. I don't know how much longer I have, like Kim Kitsuragi for. It's getting a little bit late afternoon, early evening time. Maybe the easiest way to pass a little time, though I can obviously go speak to people, would be to look at our, like, case log. I thought it took me about half an hour to go through a single case last time, so that might speed us thence. This was the one. Damaged ledger. So let's try this, and then see if our volumetric compressor is ready.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
There's one thing I love, it's the faint smell of urinal cleaner. I don't quite remember my chances of opening this hidden compartment being so high last time. I'm sure I would have tried it, were that the case. 72%, I'm very tempted. Let's try it right after we read a case file. Spend some time first. Good morrow to thee. Indeed, nice to see you there in the chat. Welcome, welcome. All right,
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Which one do you want?
We did the unsolvable case last time. Murder at the hookah parlor. The couch in an unexpected location. That sounds fascinating. What's the unexpected location? The Next World mural, or the square bullet hole murders. I've got to hear about this couch.
Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
This is a fascinating case. They really did. They looked cool. They looked like a rock band. They looked like they were in the show Atlanta, and it was neat. They looked like models, or actually, they did look like assholes. Yeah, I'm gonna say rock band. It's the sort of thing someone who's cool and doesn't really have a day job does.
Yes, as you've said here, insufferable rock and roll assholes. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it was.
Had it begun to smell of urinal?
They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual.
You know, the typical sort of thing that the youth get up to.
Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved.
So much solving a case as it was just cleaning up some cigarette butts, but I'll take it. I'm proud.
No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next?
Alright, so that should have taken my half hour from me. I can revisit this. Thank you,
Not
Ledger.
much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers.
Here.
Volumetric ship compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts.
I love the descriptions for this so much. Let's see. No, stop. Stop freaking out on me, scroll bar. What are you doing? There. Phew. For some reason, my microphone does not quite seem to be picking up at typical levels. Let me adjust some things. It is so very quiet for no discernible reason. 1 second, let me check my settings. Testing, testing. 1, 2. It's a little bit better. So sorry, I was whispering at you in the background there. I said nothing of value, if that makes it up to you at all. Alright, bizarre scientific news from the Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. I'll take it. Okay, so we have the lonesome long way home. It's weird, because remembering this one, for whatever reason, lowers my chances. It removes my psyche, or whatever, of getting that hidden compartment open by 1. But I don't want to forget my way home after we finally remember it, so we'll just leave it. We do have our shit together now. Perhaps we can pull the body down. But first, I'm going to quick save it. And then I'm going to try breaking open the hidden compartment.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
What's weird is the plan appears to be, from when I read that earlier case file about cracking open the hidden compartment on my knee, or on Burke's knee, that is the plan to open the hidden compartment, but it's like the ledger is already damaged. I don't really want to crack it further open on my knee and spread my case files everywhere. But I'm sure it's going to be fine. We'll try it.
The two sides of the
Right.
board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off its slides. If you bend the plastic on your knee slowly,
Oh, good. We're doing it slow and gentle, like. I appreciate that kind
the
of behavior.
slides snap back into place. It should be possible to just,
Wait, somehow I don't want to. No. Well, let's take a peek. I mean, I am scared. But we'll take a
Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open.
What's inside? Gummy
2 ticket
turtles?
stubs and a handmade postcard.
Who am I shouting this at? What? Is it the handmade postcard that I'm so angry at? Let's check out these ticket stubs. Kim Kitsuragi, there's 2 of them. Would you like to go for a matinee with me? Together as friends? Maybe hold hands if it gets
2
scary?
octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings.
We could
The
be those
tickets
2
permit
octopuses,
access
Kim.
to the zoo in Revachol East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there, too.
Oh, wow. Premium quality tickets with aquarium access included. I can't wait. We're going to have to get to Revachol East first, but thank you. What's on this postcard?
Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue.
Definitely smell
It
it.
smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored.
It's a lovely surprise. I was expecting much worse.
A touch of cinnamon, the end of summer. You think the label says tutti frutti.
But you're not sure. You can never be sure if it says tutti frutti. Open it?
Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped, round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and a smile, you think. Although that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting.
I accept it as fact either way. Good morning. So nice to see you there. Welcome to the party. You're just in time for the tutti frutti.
Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted
Harry,
to write you a letter
is that my
so
name?
you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy.
I know we learned my initials at one point, like HRD or something like that. I can't quite recall, so maybe Harry is my actual identity. Be nice to know something about myself. Happy certainly is not my...
Throw it away, please.
Something deep in my subconscious seems to tell me that things between me and this young woman in her 20s with a careful smile did not end well. But it will make me happy, won't it? I'm going to argue with myself.
A merciful wind blows in from the bay of Revachol, dusting the ground at your feet and raising newspapers far away. You feel the card slipping into it.
Nope. You retain your grasp. You retain
Your
it.
hands shake, holding onto it. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest down Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. I know it will be like this until late afternoon, when I get off the 42 and walk back to you.
I'm so worried about how this is going to go. Because what a sweet description of our time together and our yearning, our deep yearning for one another's pleasurable company. Keep reading.
You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always come back to it.
Well, that's a triple always.
Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear.
I have passed out due to the contrast with me learning this information about my supposed love for the first time, and my subconscious's deep remembrance of how painful it's going to be when it all comes flooding
You
back to me.
feel the ledger slip from your hand.
Kim, catch it. Catch it, Kim. You're my partner.
No,
Sorry.
no. Hold on.
Do hold on. Don't let
To
go
what?
just yet.
There's nothing.
Search the darkness for Kim Kitsuragi's perky nibs.
Detective, is everything all right?
There they are. He gave away his position. You fall sideways. Did I die? Have I died again? Interesting. Why are there interactable points?
There is
in the
nothing.
darkness?
Again.
Nothing? Again?
Nothing sad, brother. No treachery, just blackout.
Alright then, I'll enjoy it.
Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering, somewhere in the basal ganglia.
Kill it. Kill the light in my basal
That's
ganglia.
me. Blue eyes, that's me.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to threaten you. That's nice. It's nice and quiet here with my ancient reptilian brain. Okay, who was that?
what?
Who was
He
you?
speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's
sister.
grasping for it. Still trying to hold on to the great sorrows slipping in the water. Slimy.
Slimy. No, I was cool. I'm cool. Take me back to Kim Kitsuragi and his perky.
The
Never mind.
cool when you're dead, brother.
Don't you tempt me with a good
Here in the
time.
paleo-mammalian cortex, we call it the shadow. Because it's always there.
White morning. Ah, how I mourn. What was that the X something? Where is Voyager Road? Enough. Just lie there motionless. Let the darkness take me over like a soothing skin massage. No, I'm gonna concentrate on my memories of this past relationship.
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
It was beautiful, despite the number of umbilically connected, soggy babies. It was beautiful.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape. Its lack of beauty was not the problem.
Where is Voyager Road? Do either of you remember? Limbic system?
There is
No?
no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
All right. I'll just lie here, motionless. Do what you must to my ready body.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
I hope it's Kim and not Kuno. 'Cause if it's Kuno, I'd like a little distance. You've been standing next to the corpse all day. It's quite festering. What is that? It's cold.
Yes, they're pouring something on you. It's in you. And
Ew.
it's...
What is it?
Delicious.
Mmm.
Glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness.
Where am
In
I?
the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
And it is delicious. Hello there, welcome. You have no voice, so you must type. I'm so sorry. Did you spend the entire week screaming about just the existential angst of it all? Howdy, howdy, nice to see you as well. You slipped in just under my side eye. I am so happy to see you there. And good morning to you all. Alright, thanks for dragging me down the alleyway and across the plaza and into the basket of your motor carriage, Lieutenant. I appreciate your muscular assistance.
Drink. Water.
The Lieutenant is extending a small canister to your mouth. I will accept, thank you.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself, as it pours down your parched throat. The pounding in your head recedes. The darkness parts.
I was lost in my basal ganglia there for a moment,
Drink.
Kim.
You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration.
Are you sure? That doesn't sound very scientific to me.
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it.
Aw, he's more worried about my well-being than his expensive, no doubt, leather seats. That warms my heart and raises my spirits. No, you weren't screaming. Just a byproduct of the flu. Sore throat and cough. I'm so sorry. If you need me to stop by and, like, I don't know, suck the venom out of you, would that help? I don't know much about how the flu works. But if you need me to suck on you... Wait, this isn't coming out right.
What happened?
All you have to do is ask. I should ask you the same. I blacked out. What happened after that point? I came into contact with the burnt-out ruins of the past, Lieutenant. That's probably a pretty accurate description. I was just dehydrated. It won't happen again. It probably will happen again. Let's not lie. Fuck it. Start climbing out of the motor car. I came into contact with the burnt-out ruins of the past, Lieutenant. But that is marked conclude, and if there's any more information to be gained by asking him, let's
You
start
were
here.
reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. I carried you to my kinema to take you to a hospital. Then you came to.
How long did it take you to carry me? Wink,
10
wink.
minutes, maybe.
Oh, man, you were just grunting and flexing for 10 whole minutes, and I missed it? What I did was, I came into contact with the burnt-out ruins
That
of the
does
past.
sometimes happen.
He's so understanding and sweet. He hands you the remains of your
He
leisure.
replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out ruins of the past were an occupational hazard. Athlete's foot for cops.
It's become
You
a
dropped
real...
these.
All right,
Are you okay to proceed?
yeah, let's solve this case, baby. Oh, I read it wrong. There's no baby, but I added one.
Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped in your held slot for skill bonuses. Find it under the Tools tab in your inventory.
Does it eschew hatred with every pass? What is it used for? So it has become no longer an interactable item, but a tool item. The Ledger of Failure and Hatred. This is the same ledger you found in the trash, only worse. Somehow, it makes you think about the letter, about the woman's handwriting, about not wanting to get out of bed in the morning ever again. So I can now, like, hold it in my hand and thrust it into people's face. Smell the urinal cleaner, I say. That's good to know. I still need to get a hold of a sad song on tape. I can't wait. Oh, I'm now seeing my officer profile over here. I can't believe I missed it. 5 points into Sorry Cop, and no points elsewhere. I am a level 3 communist, a level 1 ultra-liberal, and a level 2 moralist. Good cop, bad cop, 6. Wait, what does that mean? Am I good or bad? Honor level 1. People killed 3. What? Which people did I kill? Are they counting the steel ball that I drowned in the sea? Years in service, 18. Oh yeah, I remember that they listed my people killed in the ledger. That's who I killed. I have not killed anyone since I began playing, but in my past 18 years of service. It's all coming back to me now. Alright, I'm still working on this rigorous self-critique. I have another case worth 30 minutes to finish it. And a new thought. White morning. The little guy gets further and further away. You see yourself from above. You are passed out on the blue tiles of the hostel room floor. Even from this distance you can see your eyelids flutter at the mention of what? A great white object letting out its sweet smell like a lily of the valley. The little man's forgotten its name, but he still remembers the feeling. And look, he moves. The feeling animates him. He instinctively reaches out for the feeling's best friend, a bottle of Commodore Red. He puts on his disco clothes and gets smaller and smaller. So is this like the conceptualization of my rampant alcoholism deep in my brain that will grow in heat and intensity until it consumes me? Looking forward to it. Alrighty. Thanks again, Kim. You really saved my ass back there.
Yes?
Nothing. Just wanted to tell you that I love you. Alright. Okay, we're gonna quick save it again. I'm glad I didn't die of a heart attack that time. Thanks for splashing me back to the land of the living. Sounds gross when you say it that way, but we're moving on. It is now 1833, and maybe the corpse is finally to come
There
out.
he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell.
Sweet.
Emitting it is all it does now.
Because my shit is so thoroughly compressed, I now have a 97% chance of not vomiting. Let's do it.
As you breathe in, the
Failure.
odor comes over you.
What?
It's the smell of the mind telling you to run, and your stomach to wring itself empty. With your hands at your sides and your eyes squinting, you stand in it.
Step
The
closer.
man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is
not naked at
greenish,
all.
marbled with decaying
these boots.
veins, and blotched by lividity. A fading web of tattoos covers his chest and shoulders. The cargo belt used to fasten him to the branch above appears industrial in strength.
Alright. Let's perform our inspections. Though that would probably be easier if we got him down first. I'm going to start
The
inspecting now.
hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch.
It looks to be quite thin in places. Or perhaps two belts tied together.
This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt, big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying cargo under six-rotor airships.
Six-rotor airships. That must be what we saw on the start screen. Don't ask me how I know, but this is a lashing belt used for airlifting cargo.
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them.
Apparently, this is the reinforced kind, for air transport only. My brain tells me so, deep in my basal ganglia. Then again, what do I know? I don't even know what an airship is. I don't even know what my face looks like. But yeah, my brain tells me that this is reinforced.
The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves.
Aha! So we're assuming dock workers from the harbor did it. They sure wanted him to stay up there. The rope is reinforced with steel wiring. How did they even get him up there? Back off and look at the corpse. Just take it all in. think we should jump right to assuming dock workers did it. That is a solid lead towards the docks. But let's not besmirch the workers. They sure wanted him to stay up there. The rope is reinforced with steel
I was
wire.
afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than I had assumed.
How did they even get him up there? Screw getting him
A
down.
noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around.
He points to the buckle tying the belt to the branch above. Did they climb up using the kid's ladder?
That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch, then pulled on the belt to close the buckle.
He makes a pulling motion. It's very
Could
sensual.
be. The shape of the branch supports the theory.
All right, back off and
The
look at the
cadaver
corpse.
hangs from the cargo belt, limbs limp and torso covered in tattoos.
Look him in the eye. That sounds like I'm gonna get sucked into some sort of nightmare realm, but I can't wait. So how do we get him down? Let's inspect these fancy boots
The
of his.
material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them.
Seems like a sort of guardsman's armor situation. Ceramic. Fancy boots? Is he some sort of military or law enforcement officer?
Delicate and fragile. They feel alien to the world around you. Out of place somehow.
They sure do. Kim and I are both sort of law enforcement officers, and we have no such ceramic boots. Who is
These
he?
are clearly not boots. They're armor. Possibly part of a larger set.
These aren't just boots.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots.
Fancy. What kind of armor is this
Ceramic
exactly?
plate. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. This is where the make would be. Under the
Where?
heel. Fair weather. Fair weather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel. This is advanced stuff.
Where is the rest of it? The material looks out of place here. Knock on the boot. Anyone home? Pull the boot off. That's gonna smell. Where's the
Piece
rest
by
of it?
piece. He's been out here for 7 days. It would be odd if they didn't.
So it's not necessarily stripped pre-hanging, but I'm also assuming it would have been much heavier to lift him up there while wearing armor, so we can't really jump to either.
We should keep a lookout for these species. The armor could yield information. This is one thing he might actually know.
He nods towards Kuno, who's eyeing you suspiciously. Maybe he was just wearing these boots and his undie pants, and not the rest of it? Do you think that might be the case? I'm pretty sure at one point he was wearing the full set of armor, and this is going to make us look foolish in front of Kim. Understood.
The sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form. Ageless and synthetic.
The material looks out of place
It
here.
is. It's expensive.
The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation on the ceramic with his index
We've
finger.
requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics.
Just how costly are we
For a
talking?
full set, about 4 years of wages.
$6? Hot
For the
damn.
northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted for rank.
Wait, my yearly pay is 5,500 real? Why do I have $11? Ka-ching, baby! Nod to the boots. Let's do this. You and me, Kim. We're going into the boot pawning business. That's a lot, I take
As
it?
a wage, it's regrettably small. But for a piece of hardware, yes, that's a lot.
How could this man afford such expensive hardware? He probably bought it by a sophisticated sugar
That's
daddy.
for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company, but that's just hearsay.
You have an initial report? Can I
Just
see
something
it?
I scraped together from my station. An area report on Martinez. I'm sure you did the same.
I seem to have been mostly partying in my previous days, so I did not make an initial
He's not
report.
actually sure of that. He's just being tactful.
That's very sweet of him. These look pretty advanced for a security
I agree.
guard.
This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford.
Let's knock on the boot. Is it hollow? Does he have
A
feet?
small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup.
It sounds fragile, but I'm sure that's before the vitreous enamel comes into
It's
play.
anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally, from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. See?
He points to the boots. Aww. He's cute. It's cute when he points to
Faint,
boots.
organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether.
Some damn fine boots. Obviously, I shouldn't take them off of him and wear them, but I'll admit that's my first thought
Like
right now.
whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps.
What does this remind me
If
of?
trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-sections would look like.
Run your finger over the lines, being careful for ceramic
The
splinters.
smooth, glossy surface fractures into ever more intricate interconnections, peaking on the right sabaton, where you notice.
What? What do I notice?
The whorls are in the shape of a letter and number combination. E50, 100, 1000.
Point to it. It looks like there's a serial number on the right sabaton.
Can you read it to me?
He tips the drying ball point of his pen on his tongue. It's very sensual. E50, 100.
We have a
1000.
make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us.
All right. Should we steal his boots? Are we stealing boots? Is his bloated little toesies preventing that sort of thing? And we're gonna rip his entire leg off, therefore compromising the evidence of the scene? We won't know until we
This
try.
feels dangerous. Are you sure?
It does. It does feel dangerous due to the toesies I just mentioned. It's better not to try. We'll leave the
The
evidence.
sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic.
All right, let's take a wider peek at the man's underpants, I guess. Next, we looking deep into the underpants.
The
again?
cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
Inspect the tattoos.
An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, a small white star is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart.
Ah, so he's a Taurus. I see.
His corpse is marked by stars.
What will mine be marked by? Yeah, that's the most important question right now. Right now, in the middle of the murder investigation. I wonder what my corpse will look like one day. Probably very similar to this, as we're not long for this world, I feel. What will mine be marked by?
Alcohol and heartbreak.
Ouch. You've stabbed to the heart of me. Is this a map of the night sky? Is this a microelectronic system? Or is this a national pattern? I'm assuming it's some sort of celestial, but I don't know.
A map of the stars. I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great century Messinian, maybe. But this seems more particular. Customized somehow.
One particular tattoo. How about that all
As if
tree?
someone left
Sorry,
out
I got
most of
distracted.
the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains unknown to you. The thought dissipates, and you feel as though you were only half right.
So it does have the appearance of stars, or a star map, but it has another meaning entirely. I'm missing something
So
here.
am I.
You zip that back up, Kim. This is not the time. There are children present. A sudden ringing fills the air as the lieutenant pulls down the zipper of his orange jacket. Continue.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium
Oh, he's just
from
pulling
his
some
coat
ice.
pocket and pulls it open. Sounds like a sword being unsheathed. A small lens appears. Some sort of camera.
It would probably be polite to let the lieutenant work, but I am quite curious. I'm like a newborn baby, stumbling drunkenly and bearded through the world. What's
Let you
that?
get sunshine. Mini.
It's gorgeous.
Trivet is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices, primarily projectors. The camera before you looks familiar somehow.
Shit, Kuno! What the fuck is that?
It's what we're gonna beat you across the face with if you don't watch that language, young man.
An instant color camera.
He produces two metal-capped ampules and clicks them into place on the side of the apparatus. A thin slot shines
I
there.
have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
He points the camera at the corpse, peering into it. The lens needs adjusting, and
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the
Holy
breaking
shit,
of a small
guys.
ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
that is a nice camera. I see you've picked up some gummies. Excellent choice, sir. I hope that the rest of your day is deeply forgettable. In the best way. Alright, so we have some evidence. We're doing actual police work for the first time. And check out how handsome those boots look.
In case we need it.
The lieutenant says, and shakes the paper, letting it dry in the cold wind. On it, a color-perfect copy of the dead man's tattooed chest. That is a cool machine. It really
Yes.
is.
It is pretty cool, isn't it?
He tucks it away on his belt. What do we need this photo for? You know, police stuff. Just our job.
It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter. To us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around.
Oh man. We have to show his tight little underoos package all around town? That seems rude somehow. Can I have it? I should look at it later, you know, without the corpse smell. I mean, I'm guessing if he gives it to me, I can, like, show it around to people after hours? I don't know how the scheduling works exactly. But if Kim has it, I can probably only show it to people during business hours. But maybe we're just inseparable from this point on, and we're gonna hang out in the motel together. So I don't know, I don't necessarily need it, and frankly it's probably safer with Kim, and he only has the 2 ampules, one now, so I'll say
Here,
nothing.
a souvenir. Don't lose it.
He hands you the piece of rolled up photo paper. It's no larger than a pack of cigarettes, so regardless of what I said, he was going to give it to me.
The glossy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful as the chemical rainbow on the photo paper, teeming with opportunistic organisms.
Yes, I can smell those organisms now. Look him in the eye.
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home. Just subaquatic terrors there.
I wouldn't necessarily classify that as comically protruding, but yeah, I get it. I get it. You know, you would say Underoos package loudly as soon as I opened my car door. You're welcome. You and everyone in earshot are very welcome. There's something so delicious about the phrase, there is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. I think we've all felt that as we look in the mirror at our own eyes at some point. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go make some cereal for myself now.
Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess. Underneath the curdled meat there is an expression, not carried on his features, but below, inside, an expression of pleasure. This man was experiencing joy at the moment of his death.
My empathy tells me so, and I trust it, but to say it out loud to Kim, I feel I would need more physical evidence to back this up, rather than my empathetic feelings. That's really the conundrum of my entire life. Do you have any physical evidence? No? Just empathetic feelings? Is that not enough? Tell me who you are, dead man. Who are you? 72% chance. It's not bad. I don't know if I want to announce this to Kim. I do want us to be partners and to be blatantly obvious with the dear lieutenant. So sure, I'll be honest.
Why do you think so?
It's an intuition.
Okay.
The lieutenant marks something in his notebook. It may or may not be flattering to me. He seems to be weirdly into the corpse. He's talking about pleasure. I don't know. Can I get another detective assigned? There's a deer, Lieutenant. What are we gonna do with all these antlers? Tell me, who are you, dead man? I'm assuming I can come back around and try it, as it's a white check. Let's do it.
I'm gone.
Oh, thank goodness. The hanged man speaks. Where have you gone? I can see that you're gone, but who are you? What is happening? Oh my God, the corpse is talking to me. I hate you. You stink and you're boring. It's not necessary. He's already had a rough 7 days. Why were you feeling pleasure when you died? It's probably the most important thing I need to know out of the questions I can ask. I guess also his identity and, you know, who killed you would be second and third place. But why were you feeling pleasure when you died?
Maybe I was getting my rocks off.
Yeah, that's the question I just asked. I knew that part, but why? First, do you have to speak like that? What dialect is that anyway? It's the dialogue of gravel. It's the dialogue of Jason Statham. So you were feeling sexual arousal when they were hanging you? This is quite the interrogation. All right, we'll go for it.
Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type to you?
I guess so. You said you were getting your rocks off, so yes. But can you first explain to me in vivid detail, what is erotic autoasphyxiation? No, I think yes. You do look like that type to me.
Captain Coppadromo, I fear we are drifting away, fixating on sexuality again. Let's go with a simpler question.
Didn't mean to fixate on your sexuality. All right, let me ask you
He
some other
didn't
things.
choke himself. You know it.
Who are you?
I'm a joke. Look at me.
I mean, they are very tight underoos, but I don't think the bulging is very comical. I was, weird segue, I went to your eyes. I wasn't, never mind about the bulging. There's nothing funny about you. You were now, but who were you when you were alive? Don't agree that he's a joke. But there's nothing funny about you. Also seems kind of severe, like maybe he took pride in being a funny man when he was alive, and I don't want to dash that hope for him. But I also don't want to call him a joke. Who were you when you were
A
alive?
killer. A motherfucker. And a killer.
I'm gonna have to take a note to go check in on my mother. I have another question for you.
Go ahead, Corpo.
What is happening? What the fuck? Where have you gone? I think he's still here, as I am currently speaking to him. But maybe hell? I would guess hell, if we had to put a label on it.
Into the wild pale yonder.
Where is the wild pale yonder? If we flip you around, will we be able to see it?
In the past. Way
Ah,
out
yes.
in the west.
It is, quote-unquote, behind him. Way out west, then. What is happening?
What do you mean?
Like I'm talking to you right now.
It's the power of your...
Black frothy liquid starts bubbling on his lips. It's gross.
imagination.
Ah, so this is not admissible in court. Good. Good. Pardon a sneaky sip of coffee. All right,
Yeah,
continue.
man! Don't be crazy! Inanimate objects and dead people can't really talk to you. Your wild imagination is doing this. Ask some more of those questions you love so much.
Thanks, horrific necktie. I will.
He loves those.
Do. Why do I love questions so much? I'd like to ask the corpse a question about me personally. Why is it?
Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want more questions?
Yes, give me a comical amount of questions. I mean, we don't have all day. It's getting quite late, but I really want to know. Give me a comical amount of questions.
Coming right up, copperoonie Rooney. This
Is my
is
name
getting
Rooney?
upbeat now.
Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible? Who killed you? Now that's a relevant question. Can you ask me a question? Who killed you? If you were conscious for that part, did you see anybody?
Love did me in, Brother Corpo. It was love all along.
Been there. Why do I feel like I've forgotten something terrible?
Because you have.
And can you ask me a question?
Sure, Lobo. I can ask you a question. Why are you doing this?
Why am I doing what?
Looking at my face, motionless. Looking into my eyes. Standing here. Why are you investigating my murder?
Maybe I've fallen for you. Did you ever consider that? That in our time spent trying not to vomit in one another's presence, I've developed deep feelings. I don't have anything else to do. This case is all I have, and literally everything else is a dark void of nothingness. Maybe this will lead to something indescribable, unforeseen, miraculous, even. I guess I don't have anything else to do. This is my most straightforward answer. This case is all I have.
I'm all you have. Then you truly lost it all, brother. Let the world drag it all away from you. And what it left, you pissed away. And here we are.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate indictment of my current emotional state. That's enough. Thank you for the comical amount of
Come
questions.
back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also See me in your dreams.
Oh. Don't you threaten me with a good time. Squint and take a step back. So, how do we get him down? Or I have something I need to know, corpse man. I think we're probably good. I don't want... I would like to take a step back and drink in the bigger picture. But I don't want this to be like a leave the corpse. Let me reset my audio real quick. I thought I heard a pop. Just in case. Don't want any of those pops. Alright, squint and take a step back.
As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it to see if the corpse has been tampered with. Does his position at the time of death match the discoloration?
Enhance!
Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck, just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air.
That's a healthy color for human tissue, I think. His face and hands are pink. Thighs, too. Look, Kim. Look deeply at his thighs. Stop this. Relax your eyes. I mean, I guess I should make some out-loud detective contributions. Sure.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced discoloration here.
Now relax your
The monster comes back into focus, an explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins. His stomach appears pregnant with something. Black liquid streams down his thigh and onto his boot.
Taste it? No, that's not an option. Sorry, I got ahead of myself.
So, what do you think?
I think he's dead. Not very helpful. I think he was upright after death. His hands, feet, and neck are discolored. Cover your nose. Something is coming out of him. He's beaten up. See the bruises? Kuno's been throwing rocks at him for 7 days, so I think we know who the culprit is there. This seems to be the most helpful. I think he was upright after death.
Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports a hanging.
Could it still be that he was moved after death?
There's always a chance. We should check for ligament marks on his neck to see if they're in tune with the belt. We'll have to get him down first.
Did you happen to notice that something is leaking down his thighs, a black liquid of sorts? Have you tried tasting it, kid?
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet. Purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by drop.
Okay, don't taste it. I take it back. We should not taste it. Oh, welcome. Clearly you came in at a yummy part. Hi, welcome to the stream. So a pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below the man's feet, and purge liquid is dripping into it, drop by. Welcome. Hope you're having a good morning. Just in time. Did we restart the game? No, I just finally overcame my disgust in order to inspect the corpse. Ew. I'm done with my coffee now. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you were enjoying your thick, viscous black liquid dripping down the thighs. I don't know how you drink your
appears to have
coffee.
contained no more than half a kilogram of digestion at the
None
time
of my
of death.
business. Alright, so he hadn't eaten very recently, perhaps?
The fuck he's saying?
This is none of your business, child. Go back to your chucking rocks.
Talking about shit.
We got lucky. Maybe he went to the toilet sometime before death. What? Maybe he went to the toilet, or we got lucky that there's not more purge liquid coming out of him. This is probably, again, the most helpful thing to say.
Maybe.
he doesn't really want to dwell on it too long. Yeah. He is beaten up. See the bruises. Again, I think we can attribute a lot of that to Kuno there and his rock chucking. But I'll say it
I
out
do.
loud.
Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Well spotted,
Stop
Lieutenant.
talking in riddles, coin slot.
What did you call him?
You fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal like.
I mean, this isn't very helpful to say, but in the interest of continuing dialogue, I think he is dead. Kim, thoughts?
I agree.
Ah, we're on the same
His
page.
personality is no longer a part of the world.
That's sad. That's a sad way of saying it. But maybe he was kind of a dick, and this is all
Totally
good
did.
news. The world no longer stores his personality in its composition. There was a time for that, and it ended 7 days ago. No, better not say that. Too heavy. Love that one of the dialogue options is just scolding another of the dialogue options. This Buster's not coming back. Dead. What is dead? Anyway, let's open up a wider discussion about the nature of existence, Lieutenant. What is dead?
He is.
Ah, well that explains it. Back off and catch your breath.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air and your nostrils. He slowly rotates before you, decomposing.
So, how do we get him
Are
down?
you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
I mean, we've been pretty thorough. But the fact that you've said that makes me wonder about my abilities.
The
Let's have another
cadaver
look.
slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos, and extremities blotched pink and blue.
I mean, maybe there's another question I can ask him in my own imagination.
Of
Not
course.
admissible.
You have questions, don't you?
Not really.
The power of
Not
your
really.
imagination is at your service.
It's not often I consider the punchability of a child, but oh, holy hell. They really are not being helpful to our ongoing endeavors. I don't normally drink coffee, but I do assume most people drink it with their mouths. That seems weird to me. Drinking coffee with your mouths instead of just letting it run down your thighs? I don't know how that would even work. Is my name Rooney? Nope. No, it's probably Harry, but sure, I'll ask
Fuck
this.
no. You're no Rooney.
I do strike myself as a Rooney. I'm adopting it for my own. No, Rooney is obviously not who I am.
Between you and me, your name is probably Harry.
I do feel like I've been getting a lot of Harry lately. Weird thing to say out loud. No, it can't be Harry. I refuse. Could I really be Harry? I haven't looked in the mirror to check. I do feel like I've been getting a lot of Harry.
You might be onto something there.
I don't want to yell at him. He's been through enough.
Come back later, Corporal.
Say we're done.
Amuse yourself with my frank.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle of approach to the belt.
You know, you're right. That child's tree ladder is not going to
He
support
doesn't
us.
actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating, annoying, and harder than he thought.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material.
All right, Kuno, how muscular are you for a child? I'm going to need to lift you up onto my shoulders, and you're going to need to cut this for us. I would try to lift Kim up, but that's just going to be a comedy of errors. We're going to end up in the mud. Someone's going to get their nose twisted. It has to be you, Kuno. But you need to be strong enough to clip through this airship strength material. We could saw the branch, but that's even higher. It seems like a lot of hassle. Let's just not do it. Let's just leave him. I think that has been my plan for the last 7 days, as I've been drinking myself into a stupor. Maybe we could shoot him down? Well, A, you've lost your service weapon. Kim might have something on hand, but that seems dangerous in the middle of this tenement complex. Maybe we can ask for help from the harbor. Or I'm out of ideas. I mean, yeah, if the harbor is used to dealing with this type of strap, they probably have something to cut it. Kim's got the chain cutters, but we'd need like a ladder. A reinforced ladder. We could saw the branch, seems foolish. Can't someone else do it? Seems lazy. So this is probably the best bet. Maybe we could ask for
I was
help.
really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appeared to be suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down.
Good point. Good point, Kim. Let's
But
reconsider.
what other options? The corpse twists on the belt like chicken on a skewer.
Why am I hungry? Can't someone else do it? Nope. I mean, we could shoot him down. That's probably the second second most likely option. As horribly stupid as this is, maybe we can shoot him down.
Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
The lieutenant remains unaffected. Yeah, good question, Kim. Do you have a
Where the
service
buckle
weapon?
ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
There. The buckle holds the belt together. I don't know. Just shoot up there, maybe.
Where? Ah, yes, I see. If the shot hits that, there might be a chance to release the belt.
And there might also be a chance to wound a civilian in the background.
Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain a Kuno with some shit.
The kids are all in on this bang bang shooting idea. It is seeming more fun.
They'll
Wait a minute.
miss! The pigs will miss, Kuno!
Take the shot, Lieutenant. What's the worst thing that could happen? Well, there are several worst things that could happen. Say nothing. Let him choose. That way when it all goes horribly wrong, I wasn't directly involved. Actually, don't. It has bad idea written all over it. I don't know how. Maybe it's better not to. It's funny how few options you really have that don't lead to disaster. But that's sort of the name of the game. Crashing through life. A walking disaster. Made real. I'm guessing if I let him choose, he's gonna be like, not worth the risk, so let's let him
Silence.
choose.
With his elbow sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket
Go
and
on.
produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. That's a Kiel A9090 Armistice, mass-produced muzzleloader, ascetic, frugal, one of the most common firearms in the world. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger.
He's got this. Doesn't need my encouragement. But I do want to call him partner. Maybe it's a bonding moment. Say
He's
nothing.
gonna fucking miss!
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself,
God damn it.
Oh. I'm sorry, Kim. You
he
tried your
feels bad
best.
about it. About his eyes mostly. Just having bad eyesight. Probably from a young age. Whatever you do, do not console him.
Do not console him. Got it.
Idiot! Look about asshole!
Don't make it worse.
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he?
Kuno's fucking gonna be. Now step back. Alright, don't console him. What now? Although we've wasted one of our shots into the tenement building. What next? You wanna try again? I believe in you. I'm not consoling you, I'm just saying try again, maybe.
I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance.
Alright. Can I have the gun? No. I'm out of ideas. I feel like we have to proceed through this line of questioning. We can't just back out to having another look at him. We've already inspected to our heart's content. Especially the thighs. So I guess we have to ask for help from the harbor, even though it's a bad idea. It will tip our hand to the suspects themselves. But I don't really have any reason to believe that they're the suspects. There's probably air freight straps lying all over the place. It could have been anybody. I mean, let's go down this route, even though it's very
Climb up
foolish.
there and saw the branch?
Yeah, it seems real dangerous and harder than just sawing the
There
thing
has
itself.
to be a less risky way, with less falling down of trees.
All right, let's go ask for help from the harbor. You know, what I would suggest is we just look around for a better ladder is all. He's got the chain cutters. We just need to find anything that can act as a sturdy ladder and do it ourselves. But I guess he's worried about, like, gently bringing the corpse down. But I guess we're not that worried about gently bringing the corpse down, since we tried to shoot the strap. I do kind of want to try to shoot the strap myself. I'm not going to put my fingerprints all over Kim's firearm. Let's
Okay.
go ask for help.
They do have the tools and the man. And since it looks like they put him there,
Yeah, they can get him down too. Kim seems very convinced it's someone from the harbor.
okay. Let's do it in the lousy, dangerous way.
That seems to be our only option, yes. So how do we get inside
From the
harbor?
gates, by negotiating or fighting. I'm unenthusiastic about fighting. Or we can try to find some secret third path. It's unlikely though.
But you did mention it out loud, the secret third path.
To the gates. Let's negotiate.
Let's get to it. Huzzah.
Rigorous self-critique.
It's about time.
Here it is. Hard facts from the man you are. You once jerked off in the locker room and were caught. You held a young woman by the arm and kept her in your apartment for 20 minutes against her will. That's right. These are not flights of fancy. These are real deeds, Harry, emerging from the darkness of your past. You tried shooting a fleeing suspect in the foot, but hit him in the pelvis, crippling him for life. And, above all, you let life defeat you. All the gifts your parents gave you,
Yeah.
all the love and patience of your friends, you drowned in a neurotoxin. You let misery win, and it will keep on winning till you die, or overcome it.
Much, much more likely the former, but we'll see what we can do. Alright, the learning cap for pain threshold raised to 6. Red check failures heal +1 morale, and red check failures heal +1 health for various traits. Thank you. It seems to be relatively positive overall. Shame about the locker room. Moving on. I do have some skill points. 2 to spend. My endurance is at a 4. My empathy is at a 5. I'm trying to think of, like, based off what we know from the responses my inner voices have given so far, which are my favorites? Inland Empire, super awesome. Logic, I enjoy. Visual calculus, very helpful. I would like to have any savoir-faire whatsoever, but I mean, look at me. Who am I kidding? We'll keep that at 0. Perception also would be very nice to have more of. To see, hear, and smell a little bit more of everything. Also shivers. Raise the hair on your neck and tune into the city. I want that. I want that bad. So we have 2. We can probably afford to spend 1 and leave 1 for an emergency situation. My empathy's already at a 5. But I could make it my top earner, say, at a 6. I'm paralyzed with choice. I was hit in the pelvis, and now, go on empathy. Accept changes in clothes. Now quick save it, you mad man. You're having baconators? Yummy.
Fuck does
Kid.
Kuno care?
I don't know. That's really none of my business. I was just wondering if I could put you on my shoulders. Are you comfortable enough with me, a strange man who smells of gin, for me to lift you up to the corpse, and then you use Kim Kitsuragi's chain cutters? I really think this'll work. I want to discuss the body
fuck
with you.
about it?
Where's the rest of his armor?
Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor.
Is that why you sold it? Aha! How come?
Kuno's fuck gimp's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant.
What do you mean
Look
by
at
that?
him. Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's too big for any man. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away.
Where? Where did you throw
Kuno
it away?
tried to get the helmet on. It was too big.
He performs a kickoff on the imaginary helmet.
Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno.
You threw it in the
Yeah,
sea.
that shit means nothing to Kuno. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk.
I was about to say, do you know how expensive that was? But he headed me off at the pass. He doesn't care about any of that material shit.
You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gate.
Okay. I don't know what you're suggesting exactly, but I'm sure it's gonna be a good time. What do you mean, troubadour?
Yeah, cocking boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit. Came around pretending like he cares about cows.
Does he care about cows, in your estimation? Or is he only
So
pretending?
yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows. Trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor. Go to the gate. Ask him yourself.
I think I will. I will do
Curious,
that.
my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
Oh, you're just telling me this out of the kindness of your heart, Kuno.
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno Day. Kuno feels sorry for you two loser pigs. Kuno's doing pity now.
He's growing. First he doesn't care about that material shit, and now he's practicing pity. I'm proud. I'm a proud papa.
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or you may be paranoid. That is also a possibility, sire.
I love that drama calls you sire, and my liege. There are contusions all over his body. How many rocks have you thrown at him exactly? And of those rocks you've thrown, how many have hit him square in the butt cheeks?
Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit?
He grabs his head like it's suddenly hurting. I'm sorry, Kuno. I didn't realize you were deeply
He
unwell.
says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You're stupid. No, don't tell the child this. A contusion is a bruise. I'm talking about the marks your stones have left on the corpse, particularly the butt cheeks.
Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing. This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here.
Oh, I'm glad I made his head feel better with my explanation.
You hear the lieutenant hum.
Alright. More on this later.
You're testing Kuno's patience here.
Get lost,
That's enough from you. I have more questions about the crime scene. Yeah, let's learn everything we can about the child. While we never see him... while we're here, because we're never going to see him ever again.
Kuno, pig?
The boy points to his chest with both thumbs. Aha! So he does still have both thumbs. Write it down,
It's
kid.
always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
Do you do this to distance yourself from the situation? Is that some kind of gang name? I don't know if he's going to appreciate this sort of psychoanalysis, but let's do
Kuno
it.
doesn't do that smart shit. Don't throw that book shit at Kuno. Kuno knows you're lying.
I'm not lying, necessarily.
Trying to get Kuno hooked on the book.
How dare. How dare you? Next it's going to be
The boy
phonics.
knows he has an addictive personality. Admirable insight for his age.
Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you!
Oh. Nobody's trying to fiddle anyone. The thing behind the fence starts squealing shrill and violent like a fire alarm.
Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape!
The sound gets louder as the child shouts at the windows overlooking the yard. We should probably go, Lieutenant Kim. Although fleeing the scene, also not a great look.
Help! He's got
That's
the
not
Kuno
what's happening.
help!
I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna leave, or just answer the questions. Come on, Kuno. Just answer the questions.
Help! He's digging his dick out!
There is no evidence. I want it to be said. There is no evidence of that.
Escalate, Kuno! His dick is out! You're afraid!
Pigs in air, Kuno! Somebody, please!
It's full blast now, and the wind is carrying the message far and wide across Martinez. The whole
How
town
did
now
we get
knows
here?
that I'm digging it
How
out.
did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason.
It's got, pretty serious. Shut him down with physical force. No, that's not a way out of this. Are you high right now? Who put you up to this? What is this sick charade? Be logical, kid. I haven't done anything to you. He seems to be genuinely upset at the mere mention of logic, so I probably shouldn't mention it. We should back off. It's probably for the best. But it feels like there's a good way to end this, hidden amidst the tree. None of these seem particularly helpful. Be logical seems dangerous, but perhaps helpful. Let's try
Fucking
it.
logical! Help! The logical pig is fiddling Kuno!
Oh, now you're laughing about it. Now everyone has heard that he's laughing, right? What is this sick charade? He's probably that's gonna hurt his head. Who put you up to this? It's not necessarily a big conspiracy. And this just seems mean, because he could have found something in a dumpster somewhere, and that's not really his fault. It's an environmental issue. What is this sick charade?
No! Get off Kuno, you sick fat fuck!
The nearly psychopathic way they could slip in and out of the act implies you're not the first victim.
Why? Why do you do this to passers-by who are just harassing young boys for information? Is that a crime? Harassing a young boy? Yeah, kind of. Who put you up to this?
Kuno's doing this because he likes it, pig.
Does seem quite fun. Quite fun
This
for
is
Kuno.
where Kuno establishes dominance over you. Change your plan. You can't let that happen. It will make things harder down the line. You may end up missing crucial information.
Well, I guess we're gonna punch the child then. Doesn't really seem to be another
The
option.
pig's gagging him! Kuno can't speak!
I want to be very clear. There was no digging, and I'm not gagging him with anything that you might be thinking right now. Someone put you up to this. There's no real evidence of that. It could be. It could be that this is like an Oliver Twist sort of ploy, and he has a handler, but I haven't really gotten that impression. Sure, I'll continue digging my
You put
grave.
him up to this yourself when you decided to talk to him in the first place.
Yeah, that seems about right, Kim. I'm sorry that you're being involved in all
Listen
this.
to your friend.
Did guard put you up to this? Kim, did you do this? No need to lean any more into the paranoia. No, okay, so no one put you up to this. You just enjoy it because you're a little urchin, a little scamp, having a laugh. But if you could just loudly shout to the good people of Martinez that my dick is away in its holster, I would really appreciate it.
Help! The RCM is trying to fuck Kuno in the ass.
Tears of joy mix with sweat smelling of laundry detergent on his face. You smell good, kid. No, don't say that out loud. Don't say that after what's been happening. I don't want to go down this path. But it's like either that or punch him, and I'm not going to punch him. Morally, I'm not going to punch him. And also, I have a 17% chance, so I'm not going to. And I don't really want to say this. That's not nice. That's not nice, but it's my only dialogue option left. And I don't know if the whole, you have to take control of the situation, you're going to miss out on crucial information later. Is that my own internal paranoia, or is that a genuine tip about the game? And this is very, very important. Who knows? I want that information. Let's just get it over with.
Help! Misters, help!
He prances around, eyes bulging out of their sockets, rolling hard, yelling at the
He's
walls.
having the time of his life. Total ecstasy. Fuck the pig.
That is the empathetic impression I get off of him. Sounded a bit scratchy there for a second. Oh, I see in the chat. What do you want for Christmas? I don't know. I guess just to be off work and playing games with you all and enjoying myself, so all of my wishes have come true. All of my wishes have come true for the foreseeable future. I plan to do no more work this year, if I can help it. What do you want for Christmas? And how may I provide it to you, preferably on a silver platter, while I'm wearing like a French maid's outfit, if that's cool.
He's flashing Kuno. He's showing his genitals. If you don't help Kuno now, it'll be too late.
I think I'm about to be literally murdered in the streets, and rightfully so, I guess, at this point. And then there's no way to take control of the situation. I'm not going to strike the child, so here we go. We're backing off. We tried every avenue of disarmament.
Look.
Vanishingly silent, he
For
leans.
emphasis, a ghost is saying this. A shit-eating psychopathic ghost with an ace up his sleeve.
That's chilling.
I know
All
you
right.
wanted to hit me. You got that I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up look that Kuno's dad gets. The murder look. The rage look.
Aw. I'm not your dad, Kuno, and I was not going to hit you. And the fact that that's something you have to deal with breaks my little heart. And I have handcuffs if you want me to do everything you just accused me of doing to your dad. Say the word.
Relax. He can't read your mind. He doesn't know you were thinking that.
Well, yes, but I didn't act on it. It was just a 17% fantasy. No. How do I get back to it? I want to go back to that thought. Excuse me, jeez. How do you know that? You can't see inside my head. Can you read my mind, Kuno? No, I was not going to strike you. Not everyone is your
I
dad.
know what you thought. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. I'm gonna shut that shit down. You know what? You should've, because now
Mm-hmm. What
you're
now?
nothing. You're a joke to Kuno. Kuno laughs at you. King Kuno!
He spreads his arms, taking dominion over the yard. King Kuno.
Backing up was a bad idea. Now he thinks he's established dominance over you.
Kuno turned you into his prison, bitch! You're gonna be in this shit with Kuno!
What does that
No,
mean?
you're not. We can just leave.
Yes, we can just
Bitch,
leave.
you're gonna be in this shit with Kuno forever!
A peepo is a type of hat, by the way.
That's good to know. I was curious. Nice peepo. Don't say that. Don't say that out loud to the children after what they've accused you of. Whatever, I had some questions about the crime scene. Can we just get back to the matter at hand? No one has yet raced out of the apartment building and shanked me, which is a miracle unto itself. It is a nice peepo, though. Let's try to establish some cordiality. Don't take this sarcastically. Don't take me saying this as though it's a hideous hat and that I hate you.
Don't talk to me about my fucking peeper! You don't know where I come from! You just Kuno's bottom bitch!
Whatever.
Okay. Kuno is kind to his bitch. Ask your questions, but remember,
Very sweet of you.
this changes shit.
Click, 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 click!
All right. Figure out what's going on with this kid. Yeah. So I have a -1 from having backed down, but my empathy is only going to get higher as the game continues. So maybe we can salvage this situation yet and talk to him about how to report his father. In the meantime, I have some more questions
Yeah?
about the crime scene.
The kingdom of Kuno? The fuck do you want with it?
So the dead man's clothes were in the trash container. Did you see that happening? Did you strip the dead man?
Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno.
It could be a lead in the investigation. Someone may have tampered with the murder scene. I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares about that sort of thing.
Listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small-time shit. Just listen. Kuno saw what you did there, dumpster diving. Sad shit.
What? I needed things. I was looking for
Kuno
cams.
could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real.
That does sound strapping. I asked you what happened to his clothes. You must have seen them lying around. What's so great about these pants? No, Kuno, you don't know anything about the tampering I'm investigating, and I already have pants. You must have seen them
Look,
lying around.
Kuno ain't seen shit lying around. Except for that up there. Now, you want performance gear or not, Grandpa?
Is the performance gear you're offering me the clothes that I'm
The
asking about?
lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
Poor Kim just did not want to get involved with these street urchins. And he's probably correct. But do entertain me. Regale me with stories about these pants.
These are found modulars. Liquid fit, performance crotch, urban survival shit. Made in Mirova by scientists. Pants scientists.
Pants scientists with that performance
Believe
crotch.
it, you need this shit.
He unzips his jacket to give you a quick peek at the plastic-wrapped pants. They are graphite black and look brand new, so they must not be the cadaver's pants. If they're sealed.
These could drastically improve your chances of survival in the urban wilderness.
Not to mention the performance of my... Never
Coach
mind.
Physical Instrument endorses these pants. They are tartan ready. They will also make you into an idiot.
Thank you for chiming in. Conceptualization. That's what I needed to know about the pants. I might be interested in the pants, but let's talk about this later, because I'm about, 490 real short. No, Kuno, you don't know anything about the tampering, and I already have pants. I mean, let's leave the door open for later. I can't miss out on that performance
Alright,
crotch.
Pico. Shit's rolling.
Don't do business with the pig, Kuno. He's gonna steal all your money, Kuno.
They're right, you know. I'm gonna hold you down in a snowbank and steal all of your... No,
As you
I'm
can
not.
see,
I'm not.
Kuno and C don't trust you. Can't do business without trust.
There's more to his distrust than being a pig. He feels threatened by something obscure in you. What that is, however, remains a puzzle for now.
I think we've gotten about as much mileage out of the racist mug as I want to get. I'm not going to show him the mug. Do you ever climb that ladder? Have you ever gotten splinters? Do you enjoy splinters? I don't know how to relate to children. What's in the greenhouse over there? There's a stack of eternite back there. Point to the shack.
That's just some shit roofing gimps left behind. Lazy dinks.
He's hiding something.
Are you hiding something? I'm not in a real position of power to be asking these sorts of questions, but yeah, okay.
If Kuno was hiding something, it would be hidden.
Maybe I should go look at the stack
But it is
again.
not hidden, is it, sire? You picked up on it. You should examine the pile of roofing material again.
Yes. So what's in the greenhouse over
Don't know. Kiptas gardener used to work there.
Don't know what that means. I don't know what that's supposed to imply about the ass of the gardener. But,
Kit
okay.
is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Areopagite descent. It used to be a common first name among the Areopagites of Ilmara. Not so much anymore.
Hold on. The gardener used to
Yeah,
work there?
that's what Kuno said. She couldn't handle the heat, so she took off. Kuno can take it. Shit's nothing to Kuno.
His eyes get a little watery. I mean, it is still damn impressive. As to my prior statements, and in my own defense, if it should come up in court later, I was not aware that punching the child would be presented as an actual option. It does seem to be. Like, you're about the only option you're left with. And what did you want for Christmas? Weirdly, it was going to be something along the lines of a French maid outfit. I live to serve, sir. You're going to have to find that coffee you like and send some bags. That would be incredible. Any coffee is coffee I like. So whatever's cheap and tawdry, whatever you can get your hands on, I'll put it in my mouth. Wait, it's getting weird. Anytime I respond to your chat questions, it's getting weird, and I know I am at fault here. I don't know why I'm complaining. It's me. So you mean the young woman, right?
Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
He looks you in the eye and nods, as if agreeing with himself. Yes, you've made a lot of sense, and you are a bastion of logic. Good job,
Yeah,
Kuno.
her. What was
Sir.
she doing in the greenhouse in March anyway? What kind of gardening is done in March?
I mean, probably a lot. Like ordering bulbs and raking away the old leaves and stuff. There's probably a lot of gardening that takes place in March.
Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things being like that. Suspicious.
All right, the ladder.
Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get Kuno killed.
I mean, so you would say that the ladder is unclimbable,
Fuck does
right?
Kuno know? Kuno's not a fucking acrobat.
Would you like to be? I could give you a scholarship to Acrobat College. Make something of yourself.
The lieutenant takes a quick note in his notebook.
It's a trap, Kuno! Don't climb it, Kuno!
No one's suggesting that you climb it. All right, let's
Yeah,
talk about
whatever.
something else.
Kuno doesn't give a shit.
So I'm going to need more of a chance with that. Interesting thing in this game is that you can, like, unlock bonuses for certain things, but you have to fail at them first in certain cases. So maybe it would be worthwhile to just go ahead and fail at it and see if that opens
Kuno
up anything.
doesn't
But
fucking-
for now, I'm going to return later. While we're in the area, let's go ahead and ask the gardener about gardening in March, as it is now an official quest objective. Let's see what she says. Ooh, there was something we needed to do in his squad car, right? Run a serial number?
Inside,
Let's do
you
that
see a
while
set
we're
of
en route.
steering levers around.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
And they said we could connect to either place. Could you run a serial number or a pair of armored boots for me?
Officer. What's the number? And the make of the armor, if you know it.
Here it
Got
is.
it. I'll contact the ICP database immediately. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully they'll have dug up something useful by then.
The International Collaboration
Call back
Police,
tomorrow.
ICP, is an inter-Isoleri law enforcement service, the crown jewel in the moral intern diadem, alongside EPIS and the coalition government.
Hey, have you heard back about that? No, I'll ask later.
57's over and out.
Thank you.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Could have sworn we tapped on everything last time, but let's tap
As you
on it
tap
again.
on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm. Next to the gauge is a red switch labeled heat.
No, that's enough fun with the foldable headlights. I know they are mesmerizing. They are also fragile. I'm not going to turn it on for you again.
Oh, that's fair. We've already got our secret knowledge from the pamphlets or whatever. Thank you for letting me use your radio, Kim. You are a gem, and I'd like to kiss you gently. If you're into it.
believe it's snowing again.
The young woman watches the falling snow and
It
sighs.
felt like springtime just a few days ago.
What exactly have you been doing in your greenhouse? In March. Now ask it subtly.
Well, this might be the last snow we get. At least I hope so. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps everything green up in the spring. At least that's what my grandma always told me.
Did your grandma tell me also run a snow business, selling snow to the locals? It's got nutrients in it.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow.
Like a distraction. Squint your eyes and look at her intently. Disingenuous grandma bonus. Oh, I love this game. I kind of believe it. Like, I don't necessarily think she's hiding anything, but what nutrients?
Nitrogen and sulfur mostly. And whatever factories and aerostatics exhale too, I guess.
You tell me your favorite flavor of coffee, and I will get it for you. Oh, my goodness. You are spoiling me. Anything with caramel is my bag, baby. Any old caramel thing. 72% chance of prying into her disingenuous grandma. I wish I could quick save it first, but we quick saved it recently enough. I'm just gonna
All you can see is the fact that her skin is a different color from yours. That's literally all.
What?
You're gonna have to run with that.
No. This is not at all what I was trying to suss out about her disingenuous grandma. I don't trust you because your skin is a different... What? How did we get here?
What does that mean?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. What kind of music do you listen to nowadays? Quick segue to another
I
topic.
don't know. Whatever's on the radio, I guess. What does this have to do with snow or gardening in March?
I genuinely don't know. I failed a check in my mind, and now I'm just scrambling. We went in the wrong
She
direction.
seems more perplexed than cornered.
Yeah. Do you listen to disco? Do you know any sad songs that I could use in the karaoke bar? Why am I German all of a sudden? Nothing. This is just something my brain told me. I mean, that's technically the truth of it. Okay.
Okay.
This is making no sense. This poor woman. So I probably
Well,
can't
Snow
retry this
hasn't-
check.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird Snow.
In fact, maybe it was a red check, and I will never be able to try it again. And I should have quick saved it before. Before. Task complete. Alright. So there might have been some important information to learn there. Or it might just be that her grandma actually does think that snow has nutrients, and she might be right. I don't know. How far back was this? It was a little far. It was a little bit far back. Let's waste 6 minutes of all of our lives and just try that check again. Alright. Hey, it's me. I don't know
I can't
if
believe
you
it's
remember me
snowing
from
again.
earlier when I asked some really
It
inappropriate
felt like
questions
springtime just a few days ago.
for no discernible reason. What have you been doing in your greenhouse?
Well, this snow has nutrients in it.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird Snow.
Alright, trying it again. This is a red check and cannot be retried. To pay more attention to those.
All you can see is the fact that her skin is
Ouch.
a different.
I refuse! I refuse to have that be brought up. It's not the sort of brain I'm trying to cultivate here. It's fine. It's fine. We'll get there eventually. I'm just Baldur's Gate 3-ing this one out.
I can't believe it felt like springtime just a few. Well, snow.
Yes, think about the cute grandma. Not stop looking at her. Look around.
Disingenuous grandma!
What do you see?
Stop looking at her. This is very important. The traffic jam, the plaza, an entrance to the yard. She is nearby the entrance to the yard. She's also very nearby the plaza. Which one's the important one? The plaza?
That's right. And the canal, the bookstore, the harbor gates. This is a great vantage point for keeping an eye on you.
Do I need to keep it to myself? I don't want to tip our cards. I don't want her to see all my clubs and spades and such. I'll keep it
Glad to
myself.
have been of service. Now you know the locals are keeping tabs on you.
But why? And for who? Disingenuous grandma? Oh, this goes all the way to the top. Alright, thank you for your time. I gotta run. It seems like a much more important and detective-y outcome to that conversation, which I really appreciate. Rather than just confusing the hell out of a woman and pointing out that she's black, we now have some solid information. Alright, so I can't get the body down. I need help. I need some sort of forklift. And some nipple clamps, and it's gonna be a whole big thing. What other leads have gone untracked? Alright, who is in the Union box? That's inside the hostel. Precinct 41, Precinct 57, ask Kim about this after the initial inspection of the dead body is done. Is this after? Have we inspected the bidet?
Yes?
What? Tell me about the case
What
again?
do you want to know?
Now that we've inspected the scene, I want to know more about this so-called pea-scene competition.
What's there to say? It's just stupidity.
What kind of stupidity is it? Is it my kind of
The
stupidity?
cop kind. Our precincts can't decide if Martinez is part of Jamrock or the Industrial Harbor. Yours or mine, as if we somehow own parts of the city. Typical street gang mentality. So we've let the Union make a mockery of law enforcement here. And now it's come to its natural conclusion.
Going to head out to eat. Some ice cream. Ooh. And play some God of War Ragnarok. You guys have a wonderful stream. Thank you for stopping by. And I hope you have a wonderful Valhalla. Or whatever you're engaging in. Bye for now. Aha, so this so-called pea-scene contest is a struggle over who runs Martinez. Kim, I say you and I make a bargain with each other right now to share it. Or, you know, if it, depending on how this goes, if I turn out to be the murderer, you can have all the credit. You run Martinez.
Well, sort of. It's less a matter of who gets to police Martinez than who has to. It's an orphan district, in other words. I think the dispatch desk just told both our stations about the hanging. There was quite the brouhaha at the 57th, I can tell you that. Time to settle it, they said. Cop off. But I assure you, I am not their finest or toughest, with 102 cases solved. What I am is least interested in a pissing competition.
I appreciate that. I think we find some common ground
So
right there.
you volunteered to represent the 57th, but not out of competitiveness. On the contrary.
I wonder what this says about me, that I was sent by my station. He raises an eyebrow, thinking it best to let you make the next move. There can only be one conclusion. I am the finest, a case-solving machine sent to outperform you in every imaginable way. In every way imaginable. I must be an augury, an apocalyptic omen sent by my people. Can you guess my message? It's mostly beef. Don't be scared, but I think I might have supernatural abilities. I probably have an unbelievable kill count. 3. I'm going to leave why I was sent unspecified. And none of these are honest options. Except maybe this. I might be an apocalyptic omen. I'm going to leave why I was sent unspecified. But not because I'm trying to be like coy with you. These are all terrible.
The silence carries.
What's special about Martinez?
Martinez? Nothing. It's just a puddle at the end of some drain pipe. No one cares about this place. They care about sports. Most of our colleagues don't even know how to get here. North of the interchange doesn't exist.
Alright. Enough of the competition, then. I'll leave it in the past.
Yes, it's a wholly pointless matter. Forget I ever mentioned it.
Alright, why did the 41st send me? +1 for being a sorry cop. It's a white check. I can retry it. So we could actually figure out, using our, what's the word I'm looking for? Keen logic abilities, why the 41st sent me. But we'll need a little bit more logic to have a shot at it. Thank you, Kim. I love you still. This day. Alright. So, we got that one out of the way. Investigate the doomed commercial area. Search for the malignant entity in the chimney. That seemed to be like a strength thing? A physical instrument? Or was it like calling up the... I forget what skill we needed in particular to resolve that one. So anytime at the Whirling in Rags after 2200, which we're getting very close to, we can have a debrief with Kim. I can ask the station for additional funds. It might not be a bad idea. It's better than the random strangers I've been asking so far. It's unclear how you should go about finding a tiny piece of plastic in a world as huge as this. Maybe you'll just stumble across it down the line to track down my badge. Who else has unauthorized access to the whirling in rags trash? Find this person and you'll know who tampered with the scene. This may take a while. This may take some time. Sing karaoke. Get a reality lowdown. Continue to ask questions of just about everyone. The smoker on the balcony. He knows something about the murder. Find out where he lives and question him again. We did go into that apartment complex, but we didn't knock on any doors as it was nearing the end of our session last time. Speaking of nearing the end of our session, we are 4 minutes away from our 2-hour mark. But we've made some significant progress in actually inspecting the corpse, for once. And we've also drained the child of all of his dialogue options, though it really just hurt us more than helped. Where's the rest of the armor? The serial number is being run. We need to find out more about the tattoos, we need to get the body down, and we need to buy pants from Kuno, optionally. So, the big ones we can look at now. Smoker on the balcony, we can investigate the rest of that apartment complex, or we could ask the station for additional funds. It may take some time for them to send us additional funds. It also may make me the subject of their laughter and their japes.
Inside,
But I would
you
like
see a
some more
set of
money.
steering
That would just be
wheels,
helpful.
A radio microphone,
Can I get a
pull-out
pay
toolbox,
raise?
and the soft.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
So 41st is my precinct.
Just a moment, officer.
Thank you, Alice.
Come in, officer. Over.
So, it turns out I've actually lost my gun too. I'm in dire need of financial
10-4,
assistance.
I hear you. I don't have the authority to grant your request, but... What does he want now?
Money, sir. Money, Jean.
He's asking for money.
Is he fucking kidding?
I am not fucking kidding, Jean.
I don't think he is.
Don't give that asshole anything. He's just gonna drink it all.
Oh, I'm on the up and up now. I'm trying to be
Right,
better.
that's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over.
Even if they did not give me any additional funds, I got 5 experience out of it. Ha! Fooled you. It is paramount to the investigation that you grant me more money. Please, I'm begging you here. I don't even have a place to sleep tonight. Okay, I heard you. No funds. I mean, while we're on our knees, let's
He
try.
says it's important to the case.
He isn't getting a red cent. You can tell him that.
Could I have a green
Request
cent?
denied, sir. Over.
Okay. I hear
Anything
you.
else, sir? Over.
Nope. Bye for now. You
Roger
cuties.
that. 10-10. Over.
Sorry to keep letting the heat out of your motor carriage. Okay. 2011. We have about 2 hours remaining. Maybe enough time to go check out the apartment complex? Or maybe time to talk to the negotiation representative on the boat. Let's start there. While it's so beautifully snowy outside. Enjoy it. I should quick save it before we get too close, though. What's this? What's this? A sign up on the stairs. Residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain. Quick save. I probably shouldn't steal the boat immediately before talking to the... Hey.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Madam, may I just say, you are striking. Could I have some money, please? I'm
Good
begging
evening,
you.
officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. Hand overboard! Shake her hand? I don't know if I'm still sticky from the corpse inspection, but yeah, shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will. Gladly.
She's going to assist our RCM.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual.
Very
But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Oh, that's very sweet and perhaps a bit of an overstep, Kim.
There's
Thank
a
you.
trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic.
I like it.
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
So, you're on a boat. That's the kind of slick detective work you can expect out of me. Let's move on from there. What can you tell me about the strike? What do you do for Wild Pines? What can you tell me about the lynching? Do you know something about these tattoos? Hey, you seem rich. Can I have some money? You actually can. You have a very nice scarf. I'm in a rough sitch. Can we work something out? Tell me about Wild Pines, first and foremost.
What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
She doesn't want to take the blame directly. Okay, what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Good company, it seems. How much does Wild Pines have? How much money, rather? Got it? Or who are the other Indo-tribes? This seems weird to ask her something that I was thinking about in my own mind. But yeah, who are they?
Son Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown
I'm
entity
asking the
known
encyclopedia.
as Brightest Star.
Never be sure. Alright, you're in good company, it seems.
Why, thank you.
She does not register the real meaning of the remark. How much money does Wild Pines have? That seems a little bit inappropriate. But also...
I'm not
screw
at
it.
liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
Oh, so you can afford to help me then.
Billion?
What exactly is a billion? I've never heard of that. Never heard of that before. That's it? I thought Wild Pines was supposed to be big time. Scoff. Scoff at her. Numbers like that mean nothing to me. The money I owe is so much less than that. Trying to gently segue towards the ultimate question. Hey, can you pay off my rent? Alright, don't really want to insult her or the company. Wow.
20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. Then there are capital improvements, interest payments.
A wave hits the sloop. She grasps the mainstay for balance. Oof, she says, but
A
subtly.
conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility.
That sounds like sort of an excuse, but yeah, I get your point. Where does Wild Pines get all these billions? Who have they taken the billions
They
from?
started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Easterlers 250 years ago, when pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lomantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the Great Unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
It's taken everything from its employees. I gotcha. I've heard the subtle undertones. Probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly. It does. It does. What does such a huge system want with a place like this? It's an important question.
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
8% of all cargo in the world? Ah, you have impressed me, madam. You don't keep it moving, the workers do. The company is nothing without them. I think that would immediately play my hand as to which side I'm on in the forthcoming negotiations, which, from a tactical standpoint, I may not want to do. From a what's right and just in the world standpoint, let's rub this right in her face. I'll keep it subtle, so that I can surprise her later and snatch the scarf right off of her gorgeous fancy
She
neck.
nods.
So what can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
But wait, what if I want to hear about the trade?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
Is that like the equivalent of a pickle? It's quite the pickle. It's quite the octopus. An octopus! I will slay it! Why? What did the octopus do to you? Alright, how do I repeal it then? I know you're being sarcastic. You're making a little joke about it, but how is it possible to be repealed?
Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the Coalition. Unfortunately for you, the Coalition also leases you the right to police West Revachol.
Freedom from my overtaxing job and fairness to the people? I'll
You'd
take
be
it.
shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
Alright, leave it
But
alone.
I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What is your role in this, precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labour Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
It sounds so much like a grocery clerk and more like a courier, but I see.
And how are the talks going?
Thanks,
They're
Ken.
not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Oh, tell us more about this behemoth. Is he a cab driver?
What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now.
Is that the cab driver? It's weird that the cadaver we inspected also seemed to be a giant covered in tattoos. We were not able to confirm he was racist, as he is dead, but I wonder if they used to be twins of some sort? Joined at the hip, and perhaps the cab driver has more of a direct involvement than he's letting on? Interesting. Or perhaps I'm misassuming. How were the talks going before the
Let's
accident?
say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
Well, strolling in with your really expensive clothing and colognes on a literal yacht might not have helped you make the kind of progress you were hoping for.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
He looks at his notes.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
Mr. Clare is the union boss, Kim. Write it down. I mean, I should be writing it down, but I'm relying on
This
you.
isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Hurrah!
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
She does not believe that the demands are fair. What are their demands? I'll judge the fairness of this.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
I don't know what to think about that. Over-aggressive commie posturing. It seems like they have no idea about business. Forget it. I wanted to ask something else about the strike. I like it. I mean, I like it. I think I'd like it even better if it was just no board. No board at all. Who really needs to make decisions? Come on. Let's just all get back to work. And I guess when there's no board, then every worker is a member of the board. So yeah, we're on the same page here. Again, I don't want to take sides right in front of her face just yet. Let's ask something else.
She nods.
So what happened to this Gomo?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it?
Shove it right up his
Fuck off, midget. Gomont is short of stature, you
not
see.
what I expected. Not cool. Okay then.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
The scabs at the gate, did you put them there? Seems like a bit more of an aggressive question than the others have been. I'm still in the information gathering phase. Tell me about this union boss, Mr. Clare.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Seems very complimentary for your supposed rival in these negotiations. I can appreciate that.
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Less complimentary. Is he that bad? Really?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are 2 of him?
Yes. Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
Well, that doesn't sound great. And bears further investigation outside of them and their corruption, though. What about the
The
union?
Debardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say...
Cluster...
A mob. The Debardeurs are a crime
mob, that's
syndicate.
the...
Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you. You feel suddenly warm.
And your opinion, detective? If I may ask. I'm a curious and
I was gonna
talkative
hold that
person,
from
you
you.
see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is...
Something I cannot remember in my current state of amnesia. An effective advocate for the rights of local working men, a giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol, or basically a socialist mob. Having not spoken to any of them, nor heard their demands from their side directly, I have no idea. But But I wish there was an option that said that instead of, I prefer not to have an opinion on these things. It's like, I know I literally just don't have an opinion because I have not heard their side. But yeah, I don't have
Of
one.
course, officer.
One more thing. You said something happened in the election.
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Some kind of extortion, probably, or eerie. It happens. Seems like a very casual way to address the situation of a woman being probably pressured and or killed before a big election. It happens. That's not great and deserves further investigation. Could have been some kind of extortion, but I'm not probable about it. Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a Union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank
Sure.
you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
All right. I don't really want to go down that route yet. Let's say that's all we
Of
need.
course. How else can I help?
All right, we can ask about the murder. We can ask something about the body and its tattoos. It would be good to ask her about widening my knowledge of the world. And yeah, if you got any spare cashish on that boat of yours, you just chuck that my way. That'd be real helpful, if you know what I'm saying. What can you tell me about
Quite
the
a
murder?
few things, I'm afraid.
She falls silent for a moment, contemplating
The
something.
information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
So I've got amnesia. And that wouldn't be a real problem, because I could just whip out my badge and read it off to you. Except, hear me out.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
Very kind of him to step in
How
there.
curious. Why is that, Detective?
I'm clumsy and forgetful. A bit of a butterfingers, really, and I threw a man's balls into the sea. Does that answer your question?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
Remember when my partner told you I'd recently suffered from an unusual, very unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
Yeah, I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, this city, nothing. That's not a great position to take with her. Let's just say, yes. And let her continue to have her concerns about my vagary.
I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please.
No, I said, yes, is what I said, and I'd like to stand by it, please. I don't want to be honest with her about the drinking. But this isn't that much better, really. I don't remember anything. That's what's so very unusual about this medical episode,
Oh
see?
dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond.
Yeah, neither do I. I can't remember how
I
to.
do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
Well, I get to delude myself that my life isn't wildly off track and I've lost the only love of my life and my stellar detective career is spiraling into the drain. That's what I get by faking it. I self-delude myself into a sort of comfortable existence here.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Yeah, fair enough.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
What kind of arrangement would it be? Ask my sense of
I
suggestion.
mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort.
What? What are you suggesting? That I create some sort of dirty alliance with this fancy lady? Suggestion, get out of here.
Consider this. Perhaps she has been planning it all along. That you convince yourself into colluding with her.
That's a very good point, Logic. A dirty alliance, question mark. 72%. She does have sympathy for my amnesia, and that helps, but this is a red check that cannot be retried. So we should come back around to it. And I'll find it somehow. Let's talk about something else until I do.
Of course. But before we do, officers, let me be perfectly clear.
So I may be able to convince her with a 72, or I just need to find my badge and bring it back to her. All right, let you be perfectly clear. I'm
The
listening.
situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better for all of us.
Yeah, that sure would be great. Yeah, will you speak to me about these tattoos, or do you still need to see my badge first?
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering. So you do know something about the tattoos, but you're not going to tell me. So we'll return to it.
Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
So about that money.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol
When
keeps her
that
from it.
wave hit the sloop and you had to gently steady yourself against the mainstay, I did hear the jingle of multiple coins, and so I was just wondering. I'm just curious. Let's ask you about reality first.
This reality?
Mm-hmm. Does it frighten you to discuss?
Yes, reality is your side case. An experimental side case.
I am conducting a personal investigation into the world that I find myself in. Yeah, it's related to that medical episode. I have trouble remembering even the most basic terms of reality. Well, there's no time to explain, just give me the whole lowdown. Actually, now is not a good time for reality lowdown. Maybe later. We've already established the medical episode. Perhaps we should just continue down that track.
Ah, yes. The episode. Sounds like an acute case of encephalopathy, now that I think of it.
Is that something to do with cephalopods? I'd love some squid if you're offering. She puts down her thermal cup and looks at you.
Don't be phased, madame. He functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality.
That's such a lovely sentence. Don't worry, he functions perfectly well. He only needs a lowdown on all of reality. Really? Does he function perfectly
We
well?
may be here a while then. Ask away, officer. I'll help however I can.
Thanks,
All
Joyce.
right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
You promise? Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby? What do babies have to do with reality? Explain yourself, madam.
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
Hey, I'm a disco holdover myself, baby.
Aren't we all?
She refers to your corresponding ages.
Okay, so what is Martinez, baby?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour, north of the 881 and Jamrock.
Every time someone talks about Jamrock, I get hungry.
You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
I'd say even this time of year it has its charms. Look around us. It's gorgeous. Tell me more about Martinez. You mentioned a sea. Which sea is this? Okay, that's Martinez. What's Revachol? Tell me about another, perhaps even more fundamental aspect of reality. Tell me more about Martinez.
I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders.
I've met some of them. Boy, their shoulders hit hard. While I was glossing over what she was about to say, in my side eye, I thought she was about to say, there are ruins, a terminal, fishing boys. And I was curious what that meant exactly, but now I
A
understand.
brief spike of longing in her upright body. The dots under her eyelids shake.
Somebody's got a secret thing for fishing boys.
This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You were here as a teenager. This doesn't necessarily seem to be related to reality as much as it's just her personal experience and past, but I'm equally curious.
Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. The boys certainly did not.
How did they fish? How could they call themselves fishing boys if they had no boats? You mentioned a sea. Which one?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes. We're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic.
God, you're being so helpful right now, Joyce. Thank you for all of your
Known
time.
to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the blue immensities. Vast, lukewarm, and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
What is the name of this island?
Caillou. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the river Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
She really is, like, the best person to speak to about this. Seems very well educated and seemingly happy to fill me in. And this is all good stuff I need to know about my
And
reality.
to humanity at large.
Okay, what's Revachol?
Revachol? Revachol is what you call a city.
But what kind of city?
Great kind.
Sounds
As
neat.
if it's self-explanatory, beyond patriotism, a fact.
And what makes it so? Number one?
History detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries.
Okay, who built this city, baby?
The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed.
And when?
In the DeLorean century. 380 years ago.
And why? Who? When? Why?
They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological conflicts. The stuff of men.
I hear.
We're standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people in the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is.
So, we're in an unimportant part of a very important place. Pretty much at the center of the world. Or on the periphery. Basically nobody's. All of these things can be true. Yeah. This seems to be the most balanced... What's the word? Reading of things?
I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about
She points across the water where the skyscrapers rise.
22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Look, to the sea.
Silence. She lowers her hand. The water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold radiating from it.
Say nothing. Just observe the swelling for a time.
She observes your eyes scanning the horizon, then breaks the silence, slowly. This is one thought you need to complete. Where are you?
Where am I? Who the
Was there something else you wanted to know? I remember something about a lowdown.
Yeah, before we both got distracted by the Loch Ness
This has
monster
been
out there.
informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory-impaired partner has many more questions to ask, about even more fundamental aspects of reality.
It's true. I do have quite the list. If you're good, can we go inside your boat? I'm getting diamond nips. I'll just be honest with you.
Might I suggest not asking them all right now? Ma'am, Monsieur will be here later too, and tomorrow. Isn't that true, ma'am?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
But I want to know everything now. But won't I be lazy if I don't do it all now? We have taken up quite a lot of her time. We have a badge to find. We will be able to ask her more fundamental reality questions later. Plus, we have like 2 new thoughts we need to get going before we spend time in conversation. So, you're right, Lieutenant. Thank
It's
you.
better not to eat all your candy at once.
That's true. That's how you get a tummy ache.
Indeed. I'm always at your service.
All right. I don't know what this is implying exactly. What is think of something close to you? What? Well, I'm sure it will become clear. What is reach for something fundamental? A conceptualization question with an impossible difficulty. All right, what is this? Spread your hands. That's clapping. That's what we call clapping. That is all for now. Thank you, Joyce. We'll see you here on the dock
Glad
later.
to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
You do
Anything
seem
else?
rich. Could I have a little? Would it trouble you? Would you miss it? I mean, while we're here.
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
Wait, why isn't it easy? Not above begging, hat in hand. I literally can't even afford a hat. That's why I'm begging.
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes.
Lustrous
Bum.
hair. What nice fabrics. I think I'm falling in love with Joyce.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible, within reason.
Yes?
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable.
Yeah. I get your point. It's the before and after photo of despair.
You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
Ashamed? I'm not ashamed. What is this feeling? I've never felt it before. I am a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this leech for some dough. Well, as I should be, for even considering it. This is a woman and I'm a man. Sort of outdated gender roles taking over in my simian brain. Yes, I should make my own goddamn money by now. I mean, that's fair. That's probably fair. But she also has a real nice boat, and I just really need some sunglasses to make my self-esteem rise like a yeasty dough. So I'm not ashamed.
But you are too ashamed to ask this person for money. Too scared to belittle yourself in her eyes. Those half-precious stones of Erdenil.
Apparently I need to battle my own brain on this.
Oh God, the
Fair
lieutenant
enough.
is here too. Do not dishonor the force.
Don't ask for money in front of Lieutenant Kim. Come on.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
A voice breaks the silence, and suddenly you're back again. Nearby, a seagull pecks at a piece of garbage, and you can feel in the marrow of your bones that that seagull is you. Say it. Can I have some money? Having heard of billions, I'm now interested in that sort of thing. Alright, I'll definitely want to quick save it before we perhaps embarrass ourselves into a heart attack from the sheer shame of it. That's all for now, Joyce.
Of
Thank
course,
you.
Detective. Take care.
Cheek kiss to say goodbye? Is that common in these parts? It was very cold. Inspector Wheels. Your room in the Whirling isn't much bigger than this sloop. This is worth more than you will ever earn in all your life. Well, I'm walking away from this conversation feeling great about myself. Just great. Real proud. Fine, Kim, hold me. Okay, we have about an hour until Kim, I believe, has to leave for the evening, and we can have our debrief, perhaps, with him. More questions to ask Joyce. We have shame to get over if we want to take money from her, which, we don't have to, but it sure would be nice. And we have this entire apartment building to inspect and perhaps subdue. Kim, get the Fink fuzzy cuffs. Yeah, that's what I mean to say. The pink fuzzy cuffs. I should probably end it here. Try to go find some lunch for the day, and leave you good people alone without my constant snickers. And how delightful and charming this dialogue is. I absolutely adore this game. I will see you back here, tomorrow at the very least, and perhaps again and again in the coming week, as I have nothing better to do with my time. Let's be honest. I will make a replacement save. See you soonish. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Bye for now.